This is how the Google Pixel 10 series claims sustainability and might actually have a big problem in the way they're polluting. Up until now, the iPhone 15 series and above were the only phones that had 100% recycled cobalt in the battery. Now, Google have used 100% recycled cobalt in all of the Google Pixel 10's battery cells. This is a first for Google. The cobalt makes up just 25% of the entire battery. The rest is lithium and nickel. It's important not to forget that nickel's production is notoriously dirty, producing high amounts of CO2 emissions and also a lot of toxic waste, but it's less controversial than cobalt, which is tied to dangerous mining in Congo, child labor, damaging an entire country, human rights violation, environmental violations. That cobalt is now recycled. That's 25%. You have to remember that 75% of the rest of the battery still comes from newly mined materials, and they've made the battery bigger so that the phone can charge faster, which means new mining for lithium and nickel, which increases emissions. In fact, the Pixel 10 series emissions are worse than ever. Google's emissions as a whole are worse than ever. Google's total emissions rose 11% and are now 51% higher than in 2019. Most of that increase comes from their AI infrastructure, but the phones are still high. This is the Pixel Series 9 emissions. This is the Pixel 10 series emissions. Putting them side by side, you can clearly see that it is going up. The best new features like wireless charging, better sound, the longest zoom ever, all come with 100% recycled rare earth elements. There's 100% recycled aluminium in the enclosure of the Pixel 10 phones, and the housing for their phones is made with 30% recycled plastics. Overall, all of the Google Pixel 10 phones out right now have around 30% recycled materials in total. I would like to see Google get as obsessed as they are with their 100% recycled plastic packaging as they are with the phone. They have a whole 95-page plastic-free packaging design guide, which breaks down the alternatives and talks about the materials and additional features. I guess at this point, Google just needs to report on their processes, because 100% plastic-free packaging doesn't mean impact-free. There's chemical treatments, there's bleaching, there's pulping, tree harvesting. Now, Google say that their phones are supposed to be repairable and reloved, but they only really talk about high contrast screws and easy color placements to repair the battery. Hopefully, the phones will just last for as long as possible, since Google have put their Pixel phones through bend tests, water tests, and 1 meter drop tests. Buying one of the Google Pixel 10 phones right now could seem like a good idea because of the features and also their use of recycled materials, and there are definitely some green highlights in the sustainability reports, but their supply chain is still hooked on new mining. The phone emissions are going up. I guess the most worrying thing overall is that they're not at all making any carbon reduction progress at all.